Monkey Jones is gonna break your bones. He's something. He's got stats, you know. Off the top, great job on that opening theme song, and I think it's fucking gnarly as shit. Funny is, if you look up average penis length in the dictionary, you'll find a picture of badge of honor. Stupid tradition. Little pony having a small penis, growing out a disgusting beard. Okay. Lowly downloads that you've done, that's probably illegal. Okay, yeah, that's how you get a heart attack. Well, there's one other legal version of suicide that you haven't brought up yet, and that's called stress. I would try my best to elevate my stress levels to a point that has never been seen before within the monkey's body, and I achieved that by moving across the United States from Iowa to North Carolina. You know, any logical, reasonable person would probably try to make this trip in like 2 days. And then once we get there, we don't get a rest. We have to move all of my heavy shit, all of my anime books, gotta move all of that in, and then you get a rest. So, naturally, my stress level, a little bit elevated, 30 minutes off of my life. So if we're going for slow motion suicide, okay. Real quick, can I throw in a new bit before we talk about who won? So when I was sober, okay, you know, for a first try, me and Digi did okay. This isn't half bad, but then I got to the voting, and I decided to introduce a new segment called "Sober Notes to Drunk Me." We'll write pointers to improve the podcast for drunk me to read on the show. Tonight's pointer is the voting is retarded. And he's absolutely right, because for each category last week, we had 3 different votes. We had who was the autist, who was the elitist, and who won. Pretty much give you the same answer. 12 or 16 straw polls when we only needed 4. There's too many results for me to even keep track. Like, it's even confusing for me, and I'm the host of the show. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. How's this gonna work? Since there's 4 of them, does that mean if it's 2 and 2, it's a tie, so the winner has to either get all 4 or has to get 3 of them? Fucking tie. I'm gonna have to stomp you really hard this episode so I can get a victory out of this shit. If you really have to go overboard to win. Like, alright, so we know that it was a tie last week. Should we move on to comments from the fans? Pleasantly surprised. I figured everybody was going to, think that our drunken antics were terrible. It was an overwhelmingly positive review down in the comments. So I brought in a few choice comments. This one is from Pepsi Man. He says, "Who the fuck is Digibro to call other people's content shitty?" Good question. Call other people's content shitty. I mean, he's technically correct. Here's one from Yemum12341. And I was actually really interested in this. He says, "Digi, I think you're forgetting when you were on the Virginia local news talking about weed. Is that a true story?" Well, I strongly disagree, but we'll have to save that for next time. Oh, here's an important comment from Dragonite7. He says, "The title says argument, spelled ARGUMENT, yet in the vid, it's spelled argument, ARGUEMENT. Huh. 4th grade word is spelled incorrectly in the thumbnail of the video." You've probably seen them in your social media feed. The 4 most important topics of the week that you keep seeing on Twitter and Facebook and all that shit. And we represent probably a wide variety of come down, and thanks to the voting, we figure out the true answer to these big life issues. So, with all that being said, the first debate today is, are traps gay? Really? I staunchly disagree with one caveat, so I'd love to hear why you think traps are gay. For those at home who don't know, what is a trap, Digi? Okay. Oh, well, that's arguable. I've seen traps with breasts. Everything is anime? Could you imagine somebody who, comedy is just saying that everything is anime? Okay, time out. I have a dick. Am I gay? Last week, no, you were arguing that Jesus isn't gay. I've already caught Digi in a... There's a lot of different gender things going on. I mean, it's the current year. It's 2017. We're researching gender on a level never seen before. Back 10 years ago, but now, as it turns out, there's a spectrum of never-ending genders. So we got, these pan-genders and man-genders. Fucking bigot. This is all leading up to the crux of my argument, which is, with all these new genders emerging within the realm of social psychology and all this shit, scientists have been doing research, and it has been scientifically proven that with all this new information, only one thing remains the same. There's only one standard for defining what is or is not gay. And that is, can you guess what it is? No, not even close. It's if the balls touch. Traps are not inherently gay because, like, just a trap, they're only going to have two balls, so the balls aren't touching. Like, there aren't two different ball sacks touching here. Now, a trap can become gay if they touch their balls to another ball sack, but unless they do that, traps are not inherently gay. I rest my case. Can you defeat that? Exactly. They just the ball sack skin touches the ball sack skin. Yes, that's what condoms are for. Because it stops you from being gay. Well, I think this one will be up to the fans then, because I disagree. Speaking of people who are afraid of being gay, recently in Congress, the Republicans failed to pass their big repeal and replace Obamacare healthcare reform, and it's been a big buzz in the media. Everybody's talking about healthcare. You know, is Obamacare going to last? Will the Republicans make a new healthcare? What is a healthcare? All these questions have been buzzing around on social media, so I think once and for all, we need to have a debate to figure out what is the solution to healthcare reform in America. Okay. Was he the guy who did the invisible hand of the market? What did Ben Saint ever do to you? Okay. If we get rid of flower shops, what are we going to put on the graves of all these newly dead people? I'm mostly on board with what you're saying. I especially agree with kill all old people and kill all retarded people. I can see the huge benefits that'll have for society. But the problem is that healthcare encompasses two things. There's Medicare, which you've been speaking of, but Medicare is for old people. Then we have Medicaid, which is the healthcare that helps poor people. So are you implying that we should kill all poor people as well? Okay, so that's been clarified for me. But now the next question is, what if a healthy 30-year-old who has a cool-ass job, let's say he just finished a really big review of Boku no Pico, and make himself a big, nice bowl of ramen. Going down the stairs, he trips and falls if we don't have any sort of healthcare reform. Right, so what does the guy with the broken leg do? Why, are you just not allowed to break your leg now? The 7th Amendment, do you know what it is? It's you are allowed to break your leg if you feel the right to. Okay, Digi, here's the thing. I agree with the majority of your arguments, but I think I'm going to win this one because I think mine is still better. So in the 2016 election, I was a huge supporter of Bernie Sanders, and I read his book, Our Revolution, and I've absorbed all of his messages and his teachings, and I now know what the solution to healthcare reform is. You know, Obamacare is fine. You know, it gives, it takes my money and gives it to people so that they can get abortions and all that shit. Whatever, it's fine. Donald Trump's a genius. You're just proving my point. Well, sure. But, so here's the answer to healthcare, as taught to me by the philosophies of Bernie Sanders.
I think that healthcare, if a woman wants to get pregnant every weekend, the taxpayer should have to pay for that abortion. Healthcare should be free. I think that if gangbangers want to shoot each other on the streets of Chicago, we should have to pay the hospital bill to help them get the bullets out of their chest. All healthcare.
But furthermore, because I was thinking about it, and he's right, healthcare should be free, but it goes a lot deeper. As it turns out,
I think that everything, college should be free. Anime books should be free. When you go into Walmart and you see a Hershey bar that you want to eat, but you don't have $1, that candy bar should be free.
I mean, think about it. Can you think of anybody who would not benefit from being able to get whatever they want absolutely for free? Where are the negatives here? Who would complain about that? Would you? If you could get anything you want for absolutely free, would you ever complain? Would you ever have a care in the world? This is the cure, not only for healthcare, it's the cure for education, it's the cure for world hunger, it's the cure for everything. Just make everything free. You know, if every stone, not just the good stuff, free, with like a little picture of Bernie Sanders in the corner. I mean, What, a businessman is gonna complain? Oh, now I can't sell stuff. Who fucking cares? You can go to the store and get stuff for free anyway. All I'm saying is true communism has never actually been tried. But otherwise, I wouldn't complain. Fuck you. We'll let the fans decide on this one. That's bullshit. It only takes up 80% of the YouTube title, so we can't really get creative with... Alright, so we've talked about traps being gay. We've talked about healthcare. Now it's time to move on to a real serious issue. Has Ivanka Trump had a tit job? We brought this up last week. It was hotly contested, and now it's time to actually debate the issue. And I'm ready whenever the fuck you are, Digi. I can go first this time if you want. All right, Digi. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to lay down the hammer this time. I did more research for this than probably anything in my whole life. Now, first of all, you're thinking, oh, Mumkey, it's so easy to... Did Ivanka Trump have a tit job? Just Google it, Mumkey. Well, I did, and guess what? The results are inconclusive. Good fucking luck. There's no... It's up in the air. We don't know. She hasn't spoken about it before, and there's no doctor has said anything about it. There is no actual evidence. So that's when we move into the stats. I got some stats for you, buddy. First stat. The average boob job is $3,719. Now, consider this. The average woman in America makes 70 cents to every dollar a man makes, which means Ivanka Trump... These are all real stats. I didn't write down the source, but I swear to God these are all real. You can go look them up. 90% of women get a boob job after having kids. Hey, Digibro, does Ivanka Trump have any kids? Just last year to a Jewish guy named Jared Kushner, which means, now that we're doing the stats, already it's statistically improbable that she could afford a boob job since she only makes 70 cents to the dollar. But now, since she hasn't had kids, literally she would have to be in the 10% of women who get a boob job before having kids. So now your chances of winning are even lower, but it keeps getting worse. Is 35 years old. And here's a real stat for you. Digi, guess how old what's the average age of a woman who gets a boob job? Guess. 34. The average woman who gets a boob job does it at age 34. Ivanka Trump, age 35. Ivanka Trump can't afford it. Ivanka Trump doesn't have kids. She's already over the bell curve, so already you're down in the 10%. You have a 10% chance of being correct if you say that she has had one. Fuck you, I should have let you go first. God damn it. Next week we'll figure out. What cup size are you, Digi? Like a solid B? Wow, I didn't even know it went that high. We've all been there. Digi, allow me to present you with an argument that many an atheist have presented to me as I went door to door trying to convert them to my religion. They always tell me, the burden of proof doesn't matter. That's neither here nor there. The fact of the matter is, I've had the burden of providing proof with all these amazing stats about boob jobs, whereas there's been no burden at all. There's been no proof. It's just conjecture. Like, at the beginning of America, the stats said that Christopher Columbus was a good guy. I don't think that the stats on boob jobs are going to change anytime soon. No. Alright, now we have to move on to the final debate of the night. Digi, last week you revealed that you had like a 2-year hiatus from social media? So what did you even do during that time? Did you at any time look at your own dick? Oh, okay. No! What we're getting at is that while you were away for 2 years off of social media, you missed probably the biggest fucking storm in internet history. Was the shooting of Harambe justified? Who the fuck is Morpheus? Oh, he's friends with Neo, huh? I live at the airport, so I do nothing but watch CNN all day. Harambe being shot by the zookeepers was or was not justified, given the situation. Okay, Digi. I'm about to... You think that red pill blew your mind? I'm about to fucking blow your mind in a whole new way. Listen up. I'm going to take the stance that the shooting of Harambe was not justified, but not for the reasons that you might think. I think that it was unjustified because the whole concept of having animals in the zoo is unjustifiable in the first place. And let me spell this out for you, Digi. Let me paint you a fucking picture. Now, use your imagination, because this is going to seem like a stretch for you. So let me describe to you the life of a zoo animal in a small cage, kind of like a small room. In a way, sure. But it has like bars. So they live in this, small enclosed space, these zoo animals. And their whole life is just to be entertainment for the normies who come through. They're sitting in this small space and they're entertaining people. People are looking into their small space and looking at them and watching them and being entertained by them. Digibro, can you imagine what kind of life that would be? To just stay in the same little room all the time and to be nothing more than entertainment for a bunch of people outside of the walls? Can you imagine what that would be like? See, it's horrendous. It's horrendous. The fact that we're doing this to these zoo animals is disgusting. So the whole concept of a zoo in the first place is unjustifiable. So yeah, shooting Harambe, of course it's unjustified because he shouldn't have been there in the first place. And we're gonna blame him because some stupid little kid fell into his little tiny room that's covered in anime posters and shit? It's bullshit. It's fucking bullshit. And I don't know how you could possibly argue against that. Go ahead. Do you know what sympathy is, Digibro? Have you ever heard of that? Yeah, I didn't think so. Sympathy is part of the blue pill. The level of scope shows that it's unjustified on a myriad of levels. Are you telling me that the concept of a being that just exists within a small room for the majority of its time and is just there to entertain people, that type of thing shouldn't exist? Okay. Monkeys can learn sign language. All they want is bananas. Because they entertain me. And they're cute. And they make me happy. They got, like, when I look at a cute little animal, no, like, it makes endorphins go off in my brain, so, like, the never-ending misery of being alive, at least I get to enjoy seeing a cute little, gorilla, throw a kid around. No, you're thinking of it the wrong way. It's making my current existence at least a little bit better than what it was before. I'm not gonna look down on something that makes me happy. That's retarded. Yeah, but at least I was happy for those 2 minutes watching that little retarded 3-year-old get flung around. This argument's not about, the philosophy of happiness. It's about, was the shooting of Harambe justified? And I have yet to hear you give me an answer why. That's not fucking true. Good thing. Positive. We hate children. You want all people below the age of 26 dead. You should be fucking giving Harambe a standing ovation. They're the smartest animal in the animal kingdom. He knew exactly what he was doing. Oh, okay, well, I guess I'm gonna fucking trounce you in the votes again on this one. There's monkeys. Monkeys can take selfies. Monkeys can attack. Monkeys can rip off the faces of women who get too close. Thank God. I'm tired of all these privileged women trying to prove that they have a cute face. No longer, bitch. Now you're just you're bloody muscles and shit. That's all you are, thanks to monkeys. Well, that hasn't happened. That's just a hypothetical. If one monkey ripped off Ivanka Trump's face, then it would be justified to shoot that monkey in the fucking head. But that hasn't happened, and that one monkey doesn't represent all monkeys. Not all monkeys. Hashtag not all monkeys. Get it trending. No, too far. Big foul, you can't say that. You can't. That's bullshit. All right. Well, that's all the debates for this week. So make sure you go down to the description, go to all the straw polls. Can we just do the who won straw poll? I'm tired of all this autist, elitist. Should we encourage people to vote for which side they agree with or who gave the better argument? Or can they just vote whatever way they want? Okay, yeah. So who won the debates? Make sure you go vote today's categories, and next week we'll see who the victor is. Do we have any voicemails this week? Oh, shit. Okay.
Hello. This is President Barack Obama. Insufferable
I remember
Argument
him.
Podcast. Just to give my thoughts. Mumby Jones is most likely the best anime YouTuber ever. Feel extremely threatened by his uprising on YouTube. And if so, how will you deal with this in the future to come? Thank you. And fuck you, Donald Trump.
Yeah, a little bit too far. Fucking your girl Hillary lost. What do you mean? Me, as an anime reviewer, I have usurped the throne from you, and now I'm the best anime reviewer on YouTube. I don't know about that. Front page of Reddit, my friend. That doesn't matter. View counts mean nothing. It's about the quality of the review. It's gonna happen any month now. Thanks for calling in, Obama. I know you're pretty busy these days, like parasailing and shit, so I'm glad you found the time to listen to our podcast. That's pretty cool. No, yeah, they retain the title of president even after they're out of office. He had a little bit of hashtag not my president going on.
Listen, you fucking spurgs. Sucking dick is not gay, okay? Sucking feminine dick is not gay. Everyone
agree.
fucking knows all the fucking neurological homoerogenous studies. Anyone knows any fucking studies that prove fucking...
He's pretty much
fucking
giving my
prove that
argument.
sucking feminine dick is nothing purely heterosexual.
What's he
some
doing?
real fucking feminist, Marxist, revisionist fucking life. I'm gonna fucking tell you some real fucking shit right now. Who's over 50 already fucking knows this.
This is
Mom,
5
ask your
minutes
fucking-
long.
The fucking Roman Empire had outed women for traps fucking decades before.
I have no idea, but it sounds like he agrees with my argument. Well, I mean, if we redid the Jesus debate, I think I could prove using the scripture that Jesus did touch balls with another guy. Can't wait for everybody to realize, oh, like the show was funny the first time. Half of them said I couldn't even finish it. It was so shit. Sure, okay. Yeah, that's true. We'll reveal it next week. Which PCP members are traitors. Yeah, we'll see you next week. Be sure to suggest in the comments. There were so many topics trending on Twitter this week, like Harambe and Ivanka Trump. Like, Twitter just, did our job. All right, folks, we'll see you next